Hey, what is going on, you guys? Welcome to One of Each, the Dumb and Hungry podcast, where we talk about our food adventures and our favorite food groups. I'm Angelo, the Dumb and Hungry.
I'm Mychow.
And thank you for joining us. Hope you're doing all right. Mychow, we're back again in little boxes on the internet. How are you doing today?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm doing all right. We'll share later. I was in your neck of the woods recently, and I think I spared you the company, but that's fine.
It sounds like it would have been a great time.
Yeah, maybe, but not that day.
Wow.
Just kidding. Well, hope you're doing all right. Your collection continues to sit behind you. Hopefully continues to grow, but
Has not changed since
all right,
the last time.
fine. We'll
I don't know what you're looking for, or looking at, but it's exactly the same.
Well, probably to our listeners, they'll just believe us. Oh yeah, it just keeps growing. I don't know what it is. They won't check.
Well, now they do.
No, okay.
I will make sure.
Well, because you
stays
broke
out
the
there.
illusion. Thanks a lot.
I'd rather not lie to the good people who don't listen to this.
Well, I can imagine like every week, it's like it just adds a little bit more, and then like it just kind of clutters like this wall of just stuff behind you, just like piles on top every so often. So
Is that how it works?
that's how I imagine it going, like over time, like and do a little time lapse of like how it grows. But anyway,
Sure.
That's fine. But it looks good. Okay, just
Give
keep
it a few years. It'll happen exactly like that.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Well, I've kind of gone the opposite route. I've gotten quite stark minimalist there and just a plain background. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing here, but
No more mirror for you, huh?
No,
For us, I guess.
I guess not. It's I think you're better off. Everyone's better off. Less to see. So anyway, cool. Yeah, but yeah, good to see you. Hope you're doing all right. Yeah, this I don't know what you've been up to over the past weekend. I know you've shared you've just kind of been doing a lot of the same, just but I know you were talking about some movies that you were watching, and yeah. Tell me again. I forgot.
So we did the Paramount Plus. We got Paramount Plus over the weekend.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I watched what is the Dungeons and Dragons movie first? Because I've been wanting to watch that, and it's the only reason I even wanted to do the trial for Paramount Plus.
Is that right? Okay.
But, yeah. Because I don't know. I don't really know anything that's on Paramount Plus, but Oldie wants to watch Picard, so
okay.
There's that.
All right.
She's a Trekkie.
Yeah.
So that was a thing. Then we also watched Everything Everywhere All at Once. I have not seen it, so I've been waiting for it to go on streaming. I didn't realize Showtime was part of Paramount Plus, so
got it. Oh, that's good. Glad you got to catch it.
I finally watched it.
Well, I don't know. Did you jump on the bandwagon, and what did you think about it?
They're both good movies. They're both very funny. For Everything Everywhere All at Once, it's a little weird.
Yeah.
Like, more than a little weird, but it was a fun watch, I will say. I didn't realize it was so long. It was like 2 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. It's for a bizarre movie. It's quite long. But like I said, it's when you get past all the weird stuff, all the bizarre parts and stuff, it's a fun family movie.
Yeah. I don't know about family, but it's a fun movie.
What are you talking about? I think it's let's put it this way. It's a family friendly sci-fi oddity. How about that?
Definitely not family friendly.
I think the family is, it's pretty there. So
it's good for older families, I suppose, like teenagers. Yeah, but I wouldn't bring like a younger Disney age child for this.
Okay, maybe not every family, but certain families, it's friendly.
Okay, fine. Fair enough. Fair enough. That could be argued about everything, but okay.
Well, I'll take it for this. So, very nice.
Sure.
Well, yeah. If you guys haven't seen either of those, I guess that'd be a good thing to add to your list there.
Yeah, definitely. I can understand why it won Best Picture.
Yeah. It's the bagel seasoning. I mean, really.
Yes.
Really brings it up a notch.
I would hop in that bagel if I could.
Oh man. Okay. Well, hope you enjoy your trial, and Yeah, you watch a lot
Yeah,
more. Yeah. So okay, cool.
definitely.
Well, while you were out watching watching movies, I was of course eating. And I think this past week or so, I was just finding myself on the east side of town. Um, I'll just kind of go through. I did get a small selection here of the things I did consume, and I can share
All in
them.
one weekend.
It's
We're just
I sometimes I lose track. I mean, also depends on when this is released. So there might be
true.
some time in between. Who knows?
Yeah, but in this case, that's all in one weekend.
Okay, all right. Well, in this, yes, in the real time
Was this your
explanation.
Monday off this week?
This week, yes, as
Okay,
that's
so
the
that was three
Memorial Day.
days. Not,
So
oh, this coming week. So not last week.
no,
So this is all in 2 days.
sure, or maybe 2.5, depending.
Friday.
Yeah,
Okay.
Friday. So,
Oh, okay.
but we'll start off with the Friday. Started off in City Terrace at A's Barbecue. But this time they weren't serving barbecue; they were serving fried chicken sandwiches. So this is something that Alan has kind of put on hold for a little bit, and he's brought back after a little while.
Okay.
It can be a challenge, I think, to have like fryers and stuff and to fry it in the right way. But this is what he calls the not a hot chicken sandwich, because it's not hot chicken, but it is fried chicken and it is delicious. So it's a real thick cut, and it's fried really well. You got this nice refreshing slaw on there on this brioche bun. It's from a local baker. It's just all beautifully packaged and it's all delicious. So
Yeah.
and it had been a minute since I had visited A's anyway, so it was a good excuse to kind of get out there after a long week from the grind, if you will, and just to get out there. So it was good. Really enjoyed that. So shout out to Alan and also to Eddie. Good seeing him too. So, but yeah, that's kind of the vibes that you get out there, out in the back. Well, it's kind of front yard technically, but yeah, you can just pop in there and yeah, I mean, whenever they're serving, sometimes it's fried chicken, sometimes it's barbecue, sometimes it's smash burgers. It's got a good array of things to choose from whenever they pop up. So yeah, that's A's Barbecue. Also, because clearly that wasn't enough for me, I think just right after I had, since I was in the area, I drove down.
Right after. Okay.
Well, I mean, yeah. I had this little break, right? The driving itself takes some time, so it takes some time to digest, and
Sure.
so yeah, just build up your appetite again, no time. So this next spot out in kind of the East LA, Montebello kind of area. This is a place called Don Pollon, and they serve tacos, but they really kind of distinguish themselves by making by really kind of making these smoked meats kind of barbecue style kind of things, including ribs. So these tacos that we see here are tacos de costilla, or tacos with ribs. So they just chop up the ribs that they cook there on kind of on a grill, and they prepare them on these tacos, and they're topped with onion, cilantro, guacamole, and you got your salsas and stuff. But they also have plates with like just ribs. You could buy ribs on as a plate as well. So perhaps next time. This has been a place I don't know, been wanting to try, and I remember I mentioned him before, Jose. He had mentioned this place to me too. So it's too bad we didn't get to hit it up together, but it was quite good. So they're out there. That's Don Pollon. And then this, I think, I don't remember if I went there that same evening. I don't know, but one of these evenings, I visited this place, and maybe you know this, maybe you remember this. We had talked about this, not here, maybe offline, but this is Pazza Gelato in Silver Lake, and this is I don't know, it's kind of a long-standing gelato spot in Silver Lake. I mean, even since we were in high school, I mean, this place was around.
Yeah.
So it's been around quite a while. I think they're still, it looks like, according to the picture, they're celebrating 17 years.
Whew.
And, it had been a while since I had visited there, and having had it recently, I'm sorry I hadn't visited more often, because it was very good gelato, just nice, kind of creamier, a little thicker. It was just a nice array of flavors to enjoy at this local spot that's been around. But I think they've come under the spotlight recently, not necessarily because of their stellar flavors, but because of their neighbors just a few doors down, and that's Salt and Straw. They've opened a shop right next to this place, and the things that the space is owned by the same landlord. And there's an article here about kind of detailing all those things there, but it's kind of bizarre. It's kind of a he said, she said, or didn't say, whatever. Like maybe I'm considering to what's next or whatever, and then I don't know. It seems like the landlord just says, okay, well, we'll just let someone else come in or whatever. And I don't know. It seems they some people argue they could coexist, but I think when you have what is now really a big chain, one of the, a growing chain, so that Salt and Straw is, and kind of a behemoth that it's become, usually, the mom and pop shops, they tend to admittedly fall by the wayside,
Well, yeah.
They kind of succumb to the force, the attraction of the bigger guys, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
And
we have mentioned,
and they're literally
the whole Pazza Gelato story before.
Yeah. And
on here, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to see what this is now. But yeah, no, I remember going there when I parked at the parking lot behind. I could easily see like the building for Salt and Straw with its distinctive design, has like these distinctive lines and patterns and stuff on the building. Like I could tell, oh, that's them. And then the building next door here with Pazza Gelatos, they're plain black kind of building and with the awning. I could see that at least at that time, there were a lot more people crowding around Salt and Straw. Naturally, I would say.
Yeah.
There were a couple people coming through for gelato, but definitely not as many, at least at that time. But they're still active. I mean, you check them out on Instagram. They got their flavors posted up there, what they're serving. And yeah, I mean, it's, I hope they can hang around a little longer. I think they had the lease till at least maybe a couple more years or something like that.
Oh, years. Okay.
Maybe. But as to what will happen after, maybe it's not entirely clear, but we'll have to keep an eye on what's going on. But I don't know. I was driven to kind of come here because, again, of this discussion that we had offline, or maybe you had at least seen that John did not believe that he had been here in years past.
Oh, yes. I saw that discussion.
Or at least back in high school, he didn't believe that we had visited here. It's like, I've never been to Pazza Gelato. And I proved him wrong. Let's put it that way.
Yes.
Yeah, I dug deep in the archives and I found proof. Probably, actually, when I think about it, it was pictures of him and me and Patty as well. And I can't remember. It might have been Patrick who might have brought us out here all those years ago.
Pretty sure.
Yeah, it was fun. It was good. It was a good time. But in that same corner, it's just there. So hopefully, while they're still there, hopefully you guys can check them out, pay a visit, get an excellent example of what gelato is and can be. It's kind of conflicting because I really like Salt and Straw too, right? I mean, I think right now, I certainly wouldn't visit Salt and Straw at this location. You have this option here, and I would gladly take gelato over it.
So you didn't go to both?
No, sadly, no. Again,
Surprising.
the internal conflict was too strong, so I just made sure to get two generous servings there of gelato. So yeah. Anyway, but that's yeah. When you guys just keep an eye on it, and maybe we'll keep an eye and see what's going on with them pretty soon.
Yeah. I will admit, I don't think I've been there since last year. It's been a while since I've been to
Mm.
gelato,
Well
pasta
then,
gelato specifically.
okay. Well, again, we'll go. Okay.
Yeah,
Actually, maybe
sure.
actually probably this weekend we'll go. I'm gonna steal you away and just like take you. Oh,
yeah,
man.
sure. We'll see how that goes.
Well, it's fine. Moving on. We staying here on the east side of town. I visited two spots at Sarah's Market in also in City Terrace. There are two pop-ups going on. One here is Hangerburgers, and we have to talk about them, but I hope to talk about them very soon. But Hangerburgers, it makes some excellent smash burgers. Definitely should be on your list of rotations when you're trying to get some burgers in town. But they have two variations, I guess. One is the original. You can see they're kind of in the towards the back, which has this slices of pickle lengthwise, and then you have the tepic, which is has this sliced ham and the cheese, and sauced up over there, as you can see as well.
Ooh.
Since
on that, it's a breakfast burger.
it almost, yeah, you could you could almost add a fried egg on there, right? And make it a legit. But that is a style, actually.
Eggs.
Yeah, no, that could work too. Why don't we experiment with that? Let's see if we can get them to do something.
Right, no, we'll buy the burger and then take it back
we'll
and add the eggs ourselves.
Oh man, okay,
Yes.
All right. Be a little experiment for us. They since I'd last visited them, they had changed their buns. I think sometime last year. So when they started, they were using Martin's potato buns, and that was kind of being a popular choice with a lot of burgers, smash burgers, in particular. In the beginning, these particular ones were hard to come by, I think, because they were only sourced out from the East Coast. But they were, over time, they're easier to get, and so more people were putting them on. But I think there was some controversy, I believe, around Martin's, and so I think as a decision that among some places, including these guys, they decided to change them out for these local spot that makes them. But it's still really good. It's not a potato bun; it's just a plushy kind of white bun. But they're still holds up really well, and still tastes really good, really nice and like a fluffy bun, plushy. So, but yeah, these are the burgers of Hangerburgers. So I do remember that it was our friend Maria actually who put me on to them, which is interesting because she's thousands of miles away. So so to recommend a good spot, it was really good. But right next to them, if I have this set up right, is this maybe a type of food that you will appreciate as well. This comes from a pop-up called Eastside Cheesecakes. And they, as the name suggests, make cheesecakes. So there were actually two slices that I got. One here is this raspberry one, and the other one, which was probably already demolished, was like this strong cherry flavor cheesecake. What's great is that everything is like made from scratch, including the cream cheese, including like everything is, it's great. So, obviously it's going to be a little more to pay for a slice of cheesecake, but I think if you get to try it, I think it'll be worth, what you're getting. They also make this like shake that I haven't tried, but it's like this kind of loaded like shake, with cream cheese and whatever in there. It's crazy, but it sounds pretty indulgent, so I have to try it sometime.
I don't know, maybe it sounds good, but so does the cake shake from Portillo's.
Well, it's not a slice of chocolate cake. It's
Yeah,
It's cheesecake, right?
it'll be creamier. That's for damn sure.
So there you go. But at the very least, my child, you got your fix here for cheesecake. So, um, and then I don't remember. Well, the next spot we visited here was in East LA. This is Pioneer Chicken. I don't know if you had Pioneer Chicken growing up.
I haven't, but Oli has, and she's very nostalgic. And this is like the last Pioneer Chicken in LA or something, at least in our area. There's one in
Technically,
your area, right?
I guess you're saying in LA proper
City.
Technically, yeah, I guess. There is another location in I want to say Bellflower.
Oh, Bellflower. Okay.
Or Downey, one of those. That's still LA,
County.
greater LA, but yeah. So
yeah.
Anyway, but this spot here, this is the one on Soto in the East LA region. So as you said, it's nostalgic, when growing up, grown up near Echo Park, and down there on Sunset was the old Pioneer Market, which has now been made into I don't even know now what it is, but Pioneer Market, and then right next to it was the Pioneer Chicken. Pioneer actually has a fascinating history, and they were really growing. They had really a far reach throughout the city. And then some crazy stuff happened that really just kind of took them all away almost overnight. I'll find the video that I was looking at. There's this guy that named this guy that makes this series called LA in a Minute, and he highlights a lot of historical events, current events, food attractions, stuff, like just kind of covering just kind of a brief overview of like all these things that make LA. And this was one of them, I think I remember. But anyway, despite their reach, again, they kind of went away very quickly, except for these last couple of locations. And they kept the original recipe, and I think that's still what they're trying to follow to this day.
Okay.
Yeah. So what we see here is like a 2-piece meal, I think this is a leg and thigh, and with a biscuit and 2 sides. And it's a real crispy outside, Yeah.
Oh, hold on. You can't just... Is there any hint or any clue that you can give about what caused them to all close down overnight? You can't just gloss over that. That's a big deal.
It is. That's why I'll share the resource that probably explains it better than I do. It's probably like embezzlement or something weird.
Oh, okay.
I see. Some shady dealings. You can put it that way, I'm sure. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He probably brought it on upon himself. So it's.
Oh, damn. Unfortunate. Okay.
It is. It is. But again, that location out in Echo Park, that definitely has a lot of memories. So now I think I don't even know what's out there anymore as far as the food stand. It used to be a hero spot. It spells like the Greek heroes, and then it's like a pizza, like a Little Caesars maybe now. You think?
Interesting.
And then for reference, I guess that's location is where El Russo kind of serves out now, like on the street or whatever, like that. It's that area. So anyway, but the skin of the fried chicken is like super crispy. You could really have a really satisfying like crunch and bite.
Oh, good.
And the inside, the meat is like super juicy. It's really something else. So it was really best eaten fresh. Really enjoyed served fresh. And the biscuit's also real good. It's a fluffy biscuit. It's just overall was a good hit of nostalgia. So that's Pioneer Chicken. So
that Walgreens. I've been in that Little Caesars so many times.
So it is Little Caesar still, yeah.
Yeah.
And you mentioned Walgreens. That's right. It's a Walgreens. And then there's like another, it's like there's also attached like a smaller like market thing there
natural
too.
Food and vitamins, Lassens.
Yeah, I could do with that.
Yeah. Well,
Bring
same.
back Pioneer.
All right. But for those of us who've had Jollibee versus Pioneer Chicken, how would you compare?
That's hard. The flavors are a little different, I think, to be honest, I think Jollibee hits a little harder.
A better fry?
I think flavor wise, I think the fry
Okay.
here is a little different. I think I
Yeah, because
enjoyed,
Jollibee's more breaded.
I think
It looks
so.
like.
I think I enjoyed biting into this, this crispier skin or whatever. Yeah, but
Okay.
Jollibee definitely brings it up. Well, again, Jollibee's technically a little bit more accessible, to some than others. So
Nowadays, yes.
yeah. So maybe that's the reason. Convenience, it's always important. But if you do have a chance to visit at either of the two existing locations, Pioneer, please do, because it's pretty good.
Pretty good. All right. Oh, we're not done with food.
Oh no, we're
with
not.
Your weekend. With your weekend, I mean. Your 2.5 days.
Yeah. This is how much we can. This is I used to be able to do this stuff in one day, but
The age is getting to you. Ooh.
but I thought I'd just take it easy, all right?
That was
This next spot is I don't even remember where it is now. I want to say down. Hold on, I gotta look this up now. This spot is called Taco Natso, and they are probably one, if not the original spots for fish tacos in the LA area. Bellflower is the one I went to, and here we just see 3 fish tacos. They're pretty big. They're about, what are they cost? Maybe like $3 a taco, but they're pretty big. So not that I couldn't eat all of them. I did. Okay,
of course. There's no doubt there from anyone.
Exactly. So that was Taco Natso. So they have in that location, at least, there's like a proper sit down restaurant, and then they have like kind of this express kind of takeout kind of stand as well. So you can choose either. I just took it to go and enjoyed it elsewhere. But as far as fish tacos go, like if you want a good example of a good fish taco, this would be great. There's also handful of spots in LA that serve great fish tacos. But I guess if you want probably where it all began, this is the spot to go. And they have a small handful of locations. But yeah, that's what we have. Just real time follow up. The other Pioneer Chicken is in Bell Gardens.
Okay.
So you have, again, LA, and then Bell Gardens. So, again, we'll share that stuff and they know where to find it.
Okay.
I don't know if this is the last one, but,
No, there's one more.
There is actually, but, I think what I have a picture for is this one here. This is, for Tea Master in Little Tokyo. And so, they specialize.
Little Tokyo, you say?
Sounds familiar.
Kind of does.
I don't know if there's some FOMO to be had, or some
Maybe a little,
or some TFTI. I'm not sure, but I don't know if you know anyone out there in Little Tokyo. But if you do, make sure you send them over here, because this spot is pretty good. So.
Oh, is it? That looks very familiar.
I don't know if you've been, or if you're familiar with the area, but it's
Can't say that I am.
Okay. Well, maybe you got to try it out. Tea Master specializes in matcha, and they serve different, matcha in different forms, whether like in a latte or drinks or stuff. But this is what I usually get, is the soft serve. Sprinkled with some matcha. Thankfully, matcha, if you want it really authentic, it's a real strong flavor. It's like, it's like the earth. So it's strong, but,
like the earth.
but thankfully to the American palate, it's, they make it a little less earthy. But it's nice. It's a good soft serve. Both the quality of the the soft serve itself, and then the amount of matcha in there is just right to know that you are eating matcha, but also you're not digging into the center of the earth. So it's real good. Small shop out in that Honda Village Plaza. Unrelated, or on another note, across the street, right, is no longer the Office Depot. I didn't even know that.
That is correct.
That had gone away, or when that happened. Now it's like a smoke shop or something.
Is that what it is? I actually don't know.
I don't know. I thought I saw the name with some word smoke in there or something, so I assumed it was some sort of smoke shop.
The biggest smoke shop ever if it replaced an Office Depot.
I know, it's good for all your smoking needs. It's like, but as always, as we know, it's probably just more better known as a glorified parking lot. So, everyone wants a valet spot or something, or pay to park. That's where you go. So, but Tea Master, and then the last spot to mention, which I don't have a pick for, was also in Little Tokyo at Karaku, and Karaku's an old school spot. Been there a long time. Back in the day, used to just go there like late at night, have a late night meal over there, whether it's ramen or donburi or whatever. But met up there with Mr. Fred Tio, brother of our friend Elaine, and we just had lunch and had a good time catching up. He had recently visited Japan, and it was actually his idea to meet up here. He was just kind of craving something. Japanese in general, I guess. But I don't know what your thoughts are. Just like it's like he just came back, and then he's just like.
Define just came back. How long?
Actually, maybe not just came back. It's been at least maybe 2 or 3 weeks, maybe since he came back.
Okay, that's not as bad.
Yeah,
I was thinking it was like right after, because when Oli came back from Japan this year, the day after we went to Little Tokyo.
Oh, did you?
To look at apartments. We were looking at apartments in Little Tokyo, and then.
But of course, you were in the area already, so you might as well, right?
Oh yeah, literally the day after she came back, she came to Little Tokyo.
Yeah. So,
she knows it's not the same. Everyone knows it's not the same.
I know, you're just looking for that hit. It's like, oh man, I just need that hit again. Yeah. It's like maybe this will do it, and then you just go and you're like, no. Well, you're in Little Tokyo now, so you could just, I don't know, just indulge yourself all the time in Japanese fare.
I can go to Tea Master whenever I want.
Yeah, if you've never been, or if you, you can check it out. Oh, man. That's
okay. I'm not one of the real friends that we discussed last time, I understand.
Remember, there should be no qualifiers. But yeah, friend is also pretty generous term for what this is, but
fair enough. It's a hostage situation. Yeah.
Glad to have you. Well, we yeah, good. Well, that wraps up, I think, the weekend there in the kind of east side.
The 2 days.
Yeah, exactly.
Your 2 days. My God.
It's fine. More to explore, more to love. So, but yeah, there's a lot, and hopefully a lot more to come. So, again, we got to get you out there somewhere. I don't know. I know you're super busy, but it's fine. We'll have to steal you away. But yeah, that was kind of a little look into what was been going on. And speaking of food, thank everyone again for joining us. We talk about our food adventures, these local spots and pop-ups that we visit with, or I visit, I don't know, good food and good people. But today we wanted to continue talking about food, but we wanted to kind of dig into the food groups once again, back to the foundations. It seems we go back. This case,
the biggest level,
the widest.
Yes. The most important.
They are. It's in this case, we're talking about barbecue and burgers. So, and actually, this episode we've got quite a bit to cover. Almost quite a triple threat, if you will, because we kind of got three places I wanted to highlight today and talk about. and they're kind of all together because they are kind of related, especially the first two. But they're all kind of related in some way. I mean, at the very least, they all have to do with some sort of meat product, but and overconsumption. But that's what all of these
That's
are
literally
anyway.
everything you do.
That's what these all are.
Not even just these, everything you
Everything.
do.
Yeah, everything. Just in general, just excess. And
I will be surprised if there's ever a vegetarian place that gets covered in one of these episodes.
if anything, it would be like an April Fool's. Or I would have really had to like lose a bet or just some terrible something. So, but not today. Okay.
Not anytime soon, I hope.
Well, you know, again, some of the places we talk about do incorporate some form of vegetable.
That's
usually,
fine.
you know,
That's fine.
but
As long as it's not the focal point of the place, then it's all okay.
exactly. So, the first spot we wanted to talk about today is Flatpoint Barbecue. And Flatpoint is kind of in this list of rotations of, you know, barbecue, Texas style barbecue places that I've been fortunate to know about and visit and have my share of delicious Texas barbecue, including like ribs and brisket. And I think, honestly, I don't remember exactly where I had heard them from or heard about them from. Of course, again, this was during the time when I was really into, you know, this barbecue kind of rotation. But they were probably one of the dishes they were most probably that stood out to me was a lamb pita. So they had smoked lamb, you know, on this pita. And of course they were making these other cuts of meat too, brisket and so forth. But like, I think that's what caught a lot of people's attention. So it certainly caught my attention. And so that's something I've wanted to, you know, to visit for a while. But again, this is Flatpoint. This happens to be their Instagram page, but they've got, they do a lot. They've done a lot. As far as the actual pop-up, it's kind of gotten a little quiet as far as the actual regular rotation of pop-ups and stuff. But they are still kind of busy with you know, collaborations and stuff like that. But they have another venture that we will get into a little later on as to kind of what's taking a lot of their time these days. But as far as the barbecue scene goes, you know, if you wanted good barbecue, it's Flatpoint was definitely going to be, you know, one of those places you would visit. And let me see if I can bring up at least one of these visits. One of the first visits was out in, I want to say the Las Feliz, kind of East Hollywood area. And that was at, it's at a place I want to say was, where is it? My note. I have my notes here for all things. It's called Bar Cavell. And again, they were serving, you know, their brisket and things like that, but they also had that lamb pita. So I was definitely keeping an eye on that. So this was my first time to try them out, just on that stretch of, I want to say that's Hollywood or something out there. And we have the brisket, we have the lamb, and it was, I mean, I just remember it was kind of refreshing. Like it was the lamb was really well smoked, great flavor. You know, people might always have their complaints about a gamey taste of lamb, but this was, you know, you could taste a little bit, but it's like not, I mean, it's definitely enjoyable. Let's put it that way. But that's the first thing I remember just kind of digging into, and that was very enjoyable. But then the brisket as well, you know, just in case for the uninitiated, you know, I suppose the name really comes as a play on the terms used as part of the brisket. You have the flat and the point. I forget which is which. I want to say, I'm just going to, just off the top of my head, the flat is going to be like the lean cuts, and the point is where you have the moist and fatty cuts. You can fact check me right now if you want.
Oh yeah, I'm doing it right now.
While I continue to talk about this, but I mean, both were just stellar. I mean, they were small bites at that time, but they were very good. And I knew that I would be coming back. And, this was, early on, they just had these tables set up, like a little, set up there, nothing too fancy. It's just Danny and a couple of his guys just kind of helping out. But this would not be the last time to visit them. And this would be obviously not be their last time to churn out like real good barbecue.
Mm.
Yeah. So the next spot I have, I don't remember if it's necessarily the next time I visited, but it's definitely the next time I have here, was out in Santa Monica. So you'd probably find them like moving forward. You probably find them more on the west side, Santa Monica, maybe Culver City, things like that. But this pick here was actually more of a way to start the meal. This is more like a snack, actually. A slice of brisket, on a piece of bread. I think there's actually a term for that. I think they call that the fold over. I don't remember if that's an official term or something, but that's what that is. Slice of brisket, piece of bread, some onion there. I mean, it's I call it a day. You'd be real satisfied. But of course, that's not the only thing that I would get. There's also a small plate. This here particular, this is a pastrami beef rib
Nice.
with mustard seed on there. And like kind of this sausage. It was kind of a hot, I forget what they call it. I mean, I forgot what type, but it was like a hot sausage. And both of them were just, they were stellar. I mean, the pastrami had a real great brine, good bark on the rib. And these are the days when I'm like just chowing down on a whole beef rib, no problem. Just, but yeah, that was a real great bite. And this was out in Santa Monica at this spot called Surf's Liquor. And we'd find them there a little regularly. Over time, they would probably set up there to do most of their pop-ups. But yeah, this was out there. There's always a good line, so had to kind of do a good amount of waiting, but the waiting was certainly worth it. But yeah, there was just some things that Danny would really keep a close eye and like really take a good care of on and the preparation and how things were presented. Real thoughtful, in the way food was kind of served. But yeah, they were real friendly and just real good guys. So that was out in Santa Monica at Surf Liquor. But the next thing, I wanted to say is, like I said, they would pop up there, mostly in that area or around that area. But as we've seen before, in the past, there's as much as the attention grows in a positive way, you will also see attention grow in other directions, in other ways. Other people will react, maybe in less positive ways. And we've seen these with some pop-ups, they get real popular. A lot of people, flock to and get, really get a lot of attention. And there are some people that, are not happy with that for whatever reason. Right. And so in this case, there's an article that had gone out that, in this case, in what other pop-ups that, Flatpoint they got fined, they got shut down, because of some complaints. People unfortunately don't, totally understand the whole setup of, smoked barbecue or having a smoker, things like that. And, it's just taking up, the smoke just, takes up, I don't know, pollutes the air, or they say something, this or that. I don't know, but they're just not happy. People just aren't happy. Okay. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
Just generally speaking, but, unfortunately they had to kind of get, the short end of that. So yeah, that was just, they had to kind of close up and, kind of regroup, and they were back after a while. But I think, popping up in that way, kind of had to change a little bit. They did find themselves back there over time, but like, again, they started like moving around a little more. Because yeah, just having that kind of attention, people are going to follow, so yeah, that was that but I think in some ways, if you can argue that again, because there's a lot of attention, maybe they're doing something right. They've got a lot of, but they have a lot of good support. So people definitely are behind them. I mean, they've also done, this was also around during the time, the pandemic. So like everyone, they would do pop-ups, like pickups and stuff, right? They would vacuum seal. They could vacuum seal their food, and you can pick it up. I remember there was a time when I picked up like brisket. There's some ribs, and I think they even had like porchetta as well. Yeah, it was all quite good. All vacuum sealed, ready to. You could freeze it, and then whenever you're ready, you could just reheat it, and it's good to go. Almost just as good when you got it. So, yeah, they also had to re-strategize and do their thing to get through that crazy time. So, yeah, I just, as I'm looking back, like it's just one of those places I'd wish I'd visited more. I'd had my share, and I'm glad I did, but I just wish I had, I'd gone on more. So I don't know. It's interesting, but it's I'm glad what I've had, what I had. This pop-up here is out in, I want to say it's in Santa Monica or out west. It's at this place called Good People Coffee. But yeah, just here, this was a tray of, there was some sliced brisket. Yeah, that's pretty much all they had. I think I went there and I think they had sold out of most of the stuff. So they still had brisket, which is great. And I think I also had a sandwich there. Yeah, had I don't remember if that was, yeah. So a chopped brisket sando, I want to say, and slices of brisket. So not a bad day. So nothing more to say otherwise than, yeah, it was a good bite. Just reminding me again, like smokiness and a good bark and everything. And it reminds me of like, these days again, where I would visit like multiple places, the same day, and have room for all of these,
Ooh.
It's like, it's kind of crazy.
Youth.
Actually, if I can go back, from that first pop-up, I remember that, that was just one of the many spots that day, back in that, Barcovelle, visit.
Oh,
because that was the day, I had visited Hamburgers Nice for the first time. We talked about them recently. Yeah. It was their first visit. I'd also had Reichthof Ferns, like some ribs.
Of course.
I'd ordered some dough box later that day for pickup.
My God.
Yeah. Like a whole pie. Okay. That's how they serve her.
Oh, not the small one, but the big one.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
And some Goldburger. Because I think at that time they were kind of setting up at that Silver Lake spot. And so if you remember there no, if you remember there on Sunset, they kind of they served
like the
out of that
6-month lease.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that was all there. That was all part of that that rotation.
Hey.
So yeah. But
so nostalgic.
I know, so nostalgic. But yeah, one of the other visits I can bring up here was a visit to Long Beach, and actually the location here is a place we've talked about recently at Trademark Brewing in Long Beach. This was still during pandemic, but like it was during the time when people were kind of allowed to serve food and kind of be outdoors safely or whatever. So I paid a visit and I tried to make up for lost time. So we just have a little bit of everything here. We have some brisket, we have some burnt ends, some sausage, and a sando here as well. So yeah,
Glorious.
just a little bit of everything, a sampling of flavors here, but it really hit the spot. Yeah. I don't remember where I was at that time, but it probably was coming from somewhere on the west side, and then drove down to Long Beach. And again, I come here, I go to all these like breweries and whatever, like, but I come here for the food. So yeah, I don't know what to say. It's just, oh,
Yeah, what's your
apparently,
favorite brew from there? Hmm?
um, must be something hazy, something. I don't know. We have there's another tray here. It's not my tray, but this was a more full tray. Had brisket, pulled pork, sausage, and then some sides here with beans and potato salad. So yeah, again, everyone's just trying to navigate the pandemic. It's just
Of course.
yeah. So it was crazy, but people survive and get through it, I guess. So
Yeah.
yeah, but that was a trademark brewing. So yeah, one of the many more things. Like I said, they've had a lot more like collaborations and pop-ups and things. Like I said, I think the pop-ups themselves have kind of quieted down. But like we saw earlier, maybe like on their Instagram page, you can even see here in these first few pages, like some of their collabs. Like here, Giada is like a very well-known deli in Santa Monica. And they've also done. There seems to be has a thing for whole hog. So he's done a few whole hog cooks. Like this one here, I believe, is with Moose Barbecue. Like Moose was
Wow.
having their like what's their anniversary or something at the restaurant, and so they kind of did all these collabs with lots of other barbecue guys, including Flatpoint here. They've been to the Heritage event, like the invitational that they have for their anniversaries, and just so many other things that they've been able to do. But you will see shortly that one of the things that one of the other ventures, I guess, that they're kind of up to now still has to do with meat, but not necessarily with barbecue. And it kind of transitions us to the next spot we're going to talk about, which is probably one of the more well-known maybe spots now, maybe one of the more popular spots. It deals with our next food group with burgers. So during the time of the pop-ups for Flatpoint, I guess Danny, he has this friend named Max, and they had this idea. Max has this idea to make burgers, and at the time, I mean, it kind of made sense. They could use maybe some of the trimmings from the barbecue and make burgers from that, or they just make their own blend. I don't know, whatever. So regardless, burgers are the name of the game, and they've come to be known as the spot now known as Heavy Handed. So Heavy Handed is probably one of the hottest spots, I think, to get a burger in LA. They're out in Santa Monica now. They have a beautiful brick and mortar, a lot of great outdoor space by the beach. I mean, I don't think I could ask for a better combo. Burgers by the beach. But they they put that together. It was probably some of the best burgers, smash burgers you could have. Just a real simple kind of menu. I actually bring it up here. It's a real simple menu. I mean, you get a single, double, triple, and you can get fries. I mean, like at that time, getting fries at a pop-up is kind of difficult, to be honest. And because you got to have a fryer, you got to fry it right, you got to keep them warm. It can be tricky. But somehow they managed to do it. So they started off as a pop-up as well. They set up at different parts. Again, probably mostly on the west side. You'll find them there. But later on, we'll see in a little bit how that's kind of grown over time. But like I said, they have grown to this like kind of powerhouse, this great spot that you can have great burgers from there on the west side. Where are my picks? I got to find them here. But Heavy Handed. But I think what really sets it apart, aside from a great smash, is a good sauce. Now you have purists, say like all you need is meat, cheese, bun, which can be very good on their own. But depending on who you are, you could have other great additions that can enhance or just add to the enjoyment of your meal. But this was, I think, maybe the first visit I got to try out. This was, man, I think this is somewhere in Venice. It was at a parking lot somewhere out there. But this was one of my first tries. You can see, again, a double smash burger, flat patties, melty cheese, and then they got that, they have that heavy sauce, as they put it. Just a nice, enjoyable creamy sauce. Got some pickle in there. So not real complicated, I think aside from the sauce, I think it would be like probably a typical smash burger fare in there. It's nothing too fancy or anything, but it is. All I know is that it's really good. Mychow, I think we've had our share of heavy-handed at least once. I want to say we've enjoyed it.
Yeah, I do. I remember the menu specifically.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Well, the menu's real simple too, so not much to.
It was just the aesthetic.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, just really pops out at
Bright
you.
orange. Yeah,
exactly.
Definitely.
Yeah. But this was from Heavy Handed out there. One of the later on, they kind of grew up and graduated to this food truck, and this is probably what you remember. This bright, kind of yellow, food truck with this, they already kind of had in mind, the aesthetic. You're saying like the aesthetic and the look that they wanted, and they really nailed it. A real simple menu. Burgers, fries, and just something real simple. But they would serve out of again in Venice, kind of that area. So they would serve a lot of people out there. But of course, the whole time, they had their sights set on probably something bigger. And so, thankfully, they got the following. They got a lot of people. They got so much attention. I think this was our visit at Monkish, and so whether it was us, I don't remember. But it's just again
the only time I remember.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Unless you've been there at Monkish another time.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hey, who knows?
Yeah, exactly. But no, this was out at Monkish. So. But again, the truck's out there. You order, and they have, Monkish is, as you might know, it just has a great selection of beer and good drinks. So, but over time, like I said, they had worked their way up to something that they wanted, which was a brick and mortar. And so finally, like they did secure a spot in Santa Monica, and they've made, a space to call their own. They brought that aesthetic there. They really leaned into that and made a real nice spot out of it. A lot of outdoor seating, that's namely what it is. There's even some seating like on the sidewalk, some curbside kind of seating there. But the menu is more or less the same. You got a single, double, triple. But now they also have ice cream, like soft serve stuff. And they also have beer. So they have drinks there too, on tap and things like that. So it's a great like kind of pairing of everything, just a marriage of like all these different things come together. It was really good. So you can't go wrong. I think if you're looking for a good burger in that part of town, I think you found it with Heavy Handed. So yeah, I mean, I just had to have a little bit of everything. Just had to have the smash burger, order fries, some soft serve. They all hit the spot. I mean, it was just as good as ever. And the soft serve was also real good. I mean, I would definitely order it. If I have a chance, I'd order it almost every time I'd visit. So, they haven't really strayed away from what they really set out to do, to make a real good smash burger with some sauce to go with that. And now they have a home by the beach, and it's just real fantastic kind of bite to have. So, I mean, we've had our share, right, of smash burgers.
Of course.
This should definitely be somewhere in the rotation, whenever you get a chance to do that. So, I don't know. So we've talked about our barbecue. We've talked about our burgers. There's one other spot I want to talk about today and kind of highlight, and it kind of leans into barbecue, back to barbecue, but kind of in a different take of it. Smoked meat for sure, but in this case, it's smoked pork, and it's from this girl named Rebecca, and from her pop-up, The Bad Jew, and which I might have sung of its praises more than a number of times to you.
Yes, I do. I know.
You remember them? Okay.
Oh yeah. It's a great name.
Yeah, it is a great name. I think so. Rebecca is the brains behind The Bad Jew. She was, I think, just formerly like doing real estate or something like that, and she was doing that while she was putting this together. But she had shared her story, and she had always wanted to do something in food. And I know I'll share a video in the notes of an interview that she has with Kevin from Kevin's Barbecue Joints. It's a good podcast if you want to keep in touch with like all things barbecue and whatever. But this is one of the episodes was with her, and yeah, I mean, she always wanted to do something in food, and the name comes from the fact that she, kind of this rebellious nature that although she has these Jewish roots, doesn't really adhere as far as the diet goes. She made the signature kind of food called that she calls the pork strami, which is a pork which is a pastrami. It's pastrami brined pork. Usually that's done with beef, right? That's why we have a lot of pastrami brisket, pastrami beef ribs. We have places like our Jewish delis like Langer's and Brent's and all that. Those are typically with beef. But pork definitely is definitely a dietary cautionary in that culture. But
yeah, that's you're not wrong,
to put it lightly. But she's definitely made a way to make this her own. And the reason I highlight here is because I believe the way she started is because she knew Danny from Flatpoint, and she was learning and kind of figuring out what to do. I think he had helped her out, in kind of the techniques of smoking and smoking meat and using a smoker and how to do that whole thing. And so I think even to the extent of, letting her use his smoker to prepare her food for these pop-ups and stuff, that's what she would do. And I had met Rebecca actually through my visit to Goldberger. And I may have mentioned before, I don't recall, but yeah, at some of there was one pop-up particular where I remember meeting her for the first time. And, she has this very kind of lively, bubbly personality, just very friendly and just, very outgoing, kind of attitude, super friendly and everything. But she always wanted to do something in food. So she was helping out. One of the things was with Goldberger, just helping him, with his pop-up. I'm sure she was doing other things as well, but that's where I knew her best from. And then even during the time when he was at that Silver Lake location, she was helping out there in the beginning. But she had mentioned to me, certainly at some point, like, hey, I've got this, I'm going to do that. I'm going to try this pop-up. I'm going to try to do this at my place or whatever. And like you to try it. And so, yeah, I mean, obviously down. I remember visiting there. It was out in East Hollywood, one of the homes or the home she was at or whatever. And I don't remember. It was a nice home. It was a kind of one of those bungalow style houses out there on Normandy or something like that. And you just kind of walk up, up to the patio, and actually was into the house. You actually go inside and had this nice kind of open like kitchen with the island in there. And yeah, they were kind of making the food. Are you okay? What, you give me this
Normandy?
look.
What?
What?
Normandy and what? It's just where my parents are, where I used to live. So
I want to say like maybe, let's say Santa Monica, for example.
Oh,
Yeah. So
okay.
not too far, right? You know what
Yeah,
I'm talking
yeah.
about. Exactly. So definitely a local find at that time.
Very local.
Yeah. So I remember that first visit was I'd gone there with Chef Mayo, who we've mentioned a few times here. But yeah,
Once per episode,
yeah,
contractually.
it seems that way. But we'd gone there with him, and he had his order, I had mine. There were two at that time. I think there were two main offerings. There was the Danny Boy and the Rebecca, and
Oh, nice.
I can't remember offhand which was which. I know it should be pretty obvious to me, but I don't remember offhand. But yeah, one of them was obviously like the pork strami. The other one was a like a corned pork kind of deal.
Ooh.
I think, yeah. So, but this was like the first iteration here. You have some of the pork strami and this cheese, just kind of light, kind of slaw kind of deal, on some untoasted kind of bread here, which is, I don't know, like for that first for a first pop up or first try for it, it was a great offering. So I really enjoyed that, and of course, being the first time and just being good food, I just couldn't help myself. I had to take a lot of pictures, take a lot of good pics, so I wouldn't forget of the good food I would.
Yeah.
I
So
would
which one is
enjoy.
that one?
Moving on. To the
Never forgot.
we never forgot. I just remember it was a good time.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah. But yeah, that was out there. According to my notes, though, this was the Danny Boy. So
Okay. Oh, there you go. So you did not forget.
yeah, no, I didn't, because the notes told me so. Oh, there's also a pic here of some vegetable here. This is a summer squash. So
Okay.
moving on.
That's not a food group.
No, it's not. It's a food garnish. This was the next pop up back there at that spot. This time we have the Rebecca. So the Rebecca has the toasted bread there, the melted cheese. Yeah. So but we have some other additions here. One of the items that they had served here was this big old latke, right? It's basically a potato fritter kind of deal.
Oh, fritter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, basically the same thing. And you served it with applesauce and some cottage cheese. Yeah, one of those things. I remember unrelated. I mean, just kind of on a tangent there. You remember when we went to what was that place in Texas? Jew Boy? Is it Jew Boy?
Yeah,
The burger place? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they served those latkes too.
Yeah.
And they had it with applesauce.
No applesauce, though.
Yeah.
Wait, did they?
Yeah, they did.
Oh, I don't remember that part.
So I was just reminded, it's like, or maybe not. I don't remember now. I think I'm mixing up my memories here.
I think it was sour cream or something.
No, probably sour cream.
There's no applesauce. I would have liked it more if there was.
Yeah. Well, the bad Jew did. So they did it right. Okay. They did it right. But yeah, this was just another visit. It's like, it was, I don't know. It just, every time, you keep doing it, every iteration thankfully gets like a little better every time. Mm-hmm. So this is the Rebecca. See, it's nice and toasty, super melty. Like it's, yeah,
it looks great.
This one was, I like both, but this one definitely, I think because of the toastiness and the melty cheese, like it makes it a little more satisfying. So, yeah, it's, this would be again, one of just many, visits after, because yeah, Rebecca would definitely go hard, just like keep going at it, trying to find the next place, the next pop up, the next thing to do. And, in her mind, I'm sure like it wouldn't just stop here. She would definitely want to do something more over time, not just the pop-ups. I'm sure she always wanted to hold on to the pork strami, deal. But as far as like where and how it's being used, that's definitely something else, that she had different sites on mind for that. Yeah.
Okay.
This trying to remember this next pop-up here that we have, not here, but here, was in Santa Monica. I don't remember if there was another pop-up there at the time. I know there might have been someone else there as well. I'm trying to recall, but she was definitely there. And this was at I think this is at like a brewery or something. I don't remember. Again, I don't pay attention to that stuff. I just go there for the food. But this here, as you can see, this one is the Danny Boy. But it was a lot more, I think it's a lot more loaded than maybe that first time that we saw, right? So
definitely.
Yeah. But this is the Danny Boy. And that was real good. I was going to save like half of it for later. Like I was going to take it with me, but no, I think like as soon as I ate that first half, it's like, no, I need to finish the second half as well. So, that didn't last very long, but, that's the Danny Boy. That was good. I enjoyed that. And again, like we've said before, like during this time, this was around the pandemic. So, they would have to figure out like what they would do, how they would serve their food. Like they couldn't do regular pop-ups or whatever. So everyone's like trying to order food, pick up food. So she had like these kits, Nice. You have the pork strami and then it's all deconstructed or whatever. You build it yourself. I'm like, okay, I guess I got to work for it a little bit, I guess. So it's fine. So,
but you got brands.
Yeah. Got some merch. Yeah. So
what is that? It's a button and a bigger button?
No, I think they're just stickers.
Oh, stickers.
Yeah,
okay.
A sticker and a bigger sticker. So
nice.
Yeah, it's good. So one of these other places that she would pop up at, I don't have the actual like location here, but there's this spot in Beverly Hills called the Nosh, I think. And so she would pop up there for a little while. And again, that's like a more affluent place, a little more trendy, right? So definitely a lot more attention as well, gaining over there. But, at occasion I think I popped over there a couple times and, pick up the food and, have a good time, to enjoy that. So yeah, just, the Notch was like another kind of place they would go there regularly. There is a couple of pop-ups, collabs that I wanted to bring up. So again, as she's like kind of continuing to improve and grow in these in what she's doing and improving what she's making, two pop-ups come to mind. One is first at the Grand Central Market, with this other gal called named I think Elizabeth, I want to say Elizabeth Heitner. And they did a collab and they popped up at Grand Central Market at Wexler's Deli. And so, Elizabeth, I think Heitner, she does this kind of Mexican Jewish pop-up. So she kind of has this kind of fusion of these two types of cultures and flavors that come together. And so, she made some stuff, Rebecca made some stuff. So some of the things that we had from this pop-up included this smoked goat birria French dip. I don't know. Quite a mouthful to say and to eat. But yeah, that was like one of the things and then this other thing I think we were seeing earlier is a trout pomegranate aguachile. It's very interesting.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. It was very interesting, very refreshing, very great, nice, good flavors. That smoked goat was also very good. I think I'm trying to remember. I know he called it a French dip. I don't remember if there was like a sauce that kind of accompanied it or if it was just kind of all in the sandwich already. But yeah, the sandwich itself was quite good. And again, like I said, they were over at in Grand Central at Wexler's Deli. So yeah, they would like work together on other stuff too. So they became real good friends and stuff. In the art of the smoke. This other pop-up that comes to mind here is at a spot that is over in Lincoln Heights, no longer there, unfortunately, a spot called Gamboge. And it's a Cambodian restaurant, kind of like a very casual food, cafe kind of style, kind of deal, but mostly with Cambodian. So this is like a num pang, which is, like the Cambodian version of like a banh mi, So you have like that bread, that kind of French style bread, and the meat in there was the pork strami, but kind of in a pate kind of style, how you have that kind of food.
Blended.
Pate. Yeah. So so the pork strami was kind of prepared in that way, and on this bread roll, and it was real good. I mean, this was a while back. I don't quite remember. It was like at least a couple of years ago when that happened. But yeah, you can see here the cross section of the sandwich. Again, it's not your typical like sliced, pork strami, but yeah, more in that pate style. But that turned out real good. It's too bad Gamboge in there. Out there in Lincoln Heights. I don't know what they're up to, but hopefully they continue elsewhere some other way. But yeah, that is over there with Gamboge. Like I said, Rebecca's always looking for kind of the next thing, and she's done like many other pop-ups and collabs. Places like with Pop's Bagels, they're out in like Culver on the west side. Some places like Employees Only, that's out in LA. Lupacata, she's been at the Heritage Invitational. Yeah, just many other kind of places. I mean, I think we could even look at her Instagram. And you can even see like some of these things. I mean, she's big in Smorgasburg for sure. But you can kind of see here some of the different things and places that she's been. She's really experimented and taken that pork strami with her, and really taken it to different levels, which is really great. I think these days she's working kind of with a private chef and kind of doing her own thing with that. And seems like she's doing some stuff with like food styling and just really deep into food.
Button mash.
Yeah. Oh, button mash too. Yeah. See, like I said. Yeah. So, I mean, I think I remember her saying, and she may have said it in, other interviews too, like one day you'll find pork strami, like in the deli aisle in your supermarket, It'd be one of those things. So maybe you'll find pork strami, one day as you walk down the deli section or something.
That would be really cool.
Yeah. I'm surprised it's not there already because it's that good, But yeah, those were the three, kind of heavy hitters we wanted to talk about. We had Flatpoint, we had Heavy Handed, and we have the Bad Jew. All great examples of great food, with good people, and just examples of like starting off, somewhere small, nothing too crazy, but then like over time, you get the recognition, you get the word of mouth, you get the popularity that comes with it, and you just continue making like great food, every time, and people will follow. You make great food, yeah, people will find you, and it's these are really good examples of them, and so I'm glad to have to try them. And I wish, Mychow, I wish you were there for more of those visits, but I'm glad you were there for some. But hopefully more to come.
There's plenty more chances.
Yeah, plenty more. Don't you worry. But yeah, again, burgers and barbecue, I mean, they're almost inseparable. You know, they're the biggest part of the food groups.
Ah, yes, that's what you mean. Yes, sure.
Did you have something else in mind?
I mean, when you say burgers and barbecue being inseparable, I don't know, man.
No, you don't.
Not many people go to one and then the other right after. That's a very, very you thing.
Oh, I see. Well, I mean, you'll never know. You'll never know.
True. There are others like you.
They're out there. There are dozens of us. Dozens. But it sounds like we've come to the end of another episode. So thank you for joining us. We are excited to bring you more of our adventures with good food and good people. Reach out. I'm on Instagram at Dumb and Hungry. He's at my_Chow. You can email us at hi@dumbandhungry.com. You can send us your feedback and your love letters. You can find the videos here on YouTube, and you can also find the audio wherever fine podcasts are served. But until next time, I'm Angelo.
And I'm Mychow.
And on your next food adventure, remember to try one of each.